What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. Man, it's been released. General Grievous. If you are still reeling from the abomination that is the sideshow version, now it is released, and you can do the countdown if you live in the United States like I am, and you're just ordering from, sideshow, big bad, the US retailers. So most likely you'll get this in 2-3 months time. Hopefully not longer, because they could delay the process for this every once in a while. But this looks good. The biggest concern, and I never owned the sideshow version, but from what I've heard, the biggest, I guess, that is not die-cast. So the biggest concern for that is holding a pose. The joints, this is a very, I would say, tricky / finicky type of figure, because he doesn't have a lot of meat and he has a lot of joints. And those arms are not like Iron Man arms where they're thick. So the engineering needs to be precise for this type of figures. And I don't doubt Hot Toys. I mean, they've been doing die-cast figures that looks like this, maybe not as thin as this, but if you're gonna base it off KX Droid or K2SO or even IG-11, they have done a fantastic job of producing droids, metal, sort of robot figures. So I don't doubt them whatsoever. Look at this pose right here. He can stand on his own, so that is already a win. I believe the sideshow version is having trouble just raising the arm and keeping the arms raised as it is. This is a big step forward, like look at this. It doesn't have any stand. I'm assuming the hands are held in place here, like I said, we've had droids like this. We've had IG-11, and we've had figures that's similar to this, maybe not exactly like him, but die-cast parts, maybe not everything. If you look at the previews that they have, they showcase like in red which are the die-cast parts. So that would help basically for giving this figure the heft, the feel, because they didn't even announce it with IG-11 or the KX droid. They never said it was die-cast, and it's not pure die-cast, but enough to give it the weight, and also the possibility that you're not, like, okay, I'm gonna destroy this, because let's be honest, if it's plastic joints, you're bound to be Hot Toys. Sideshow version has been consistently on sale for around, I would say, $200 to $220. But at this point, don't even bother. That's gonna be a waste of $200 just to get that and add that money into this figure, and you will have a better figure overall. It comes with decent amount of accessories, and I see people now complaining. I see on the post that the head sculpt, which by the way, this was announced, right, that the clean version of the head sculpt does still have, these 2 marks on his face. The battle damage one previously, on sideshow, that was the exclusive, is kind of battle damage. I never went back to the point where his eyes were like that. I was like watching some videos because I honestly forgot how he looks, just in a more, I would say, accurate way. I noticed the cape right off the bat. I was like, all right, so the cape, it would have been nice to have 2 types of cape for this guy. His cape is naturally thick. It's double layered. So, and that's the right way. Some guys are just having it over the white portion of his neck. It's supposed to be tucked in, kind of, so the white part is showing. But yeah, it's tricky because you want to have that flowing effect on this kind of cape. So that means you're going to have to wire it. The problem when you wire a cape is it doesn't drape as natural, especially on the shoulders where he tends to hunch down. So that creates like a football type of shoulder padding, on some scenes. Well, if the cape is not completely draping down, it looks kind of poofy But you know, it's okay. I mean, the only thing is it's almost $400. I think it's around 360, 70 after tax and shipping. You are probably looking at around 400. And the accessories it comes with, it is, I mean, he does have so many lightsabers, but you know, the Hot Toys really need to be implementing two types of cape. Inart did it with Man of Steel. I don't know if they've done it since. I think, I don't know if the Batman has one, but especially with this type of character and almost $400, that would have been nice, you know, to have two types of cape, where one is dynamic, it's wired, and one is just nice, even though it's thicker, or maybe they could use a thinner fabric, because that's normally how you would achieve a drape cape. I'm not sure how you're gonna do it with a 2-ply cape like this, but you know, I'm sure there are ways. I mean, it still looks good, you know, don't get me wrong, it still looks good. Like this shot right here, I think he did a pretty good job of tucking the cape into that white collar type of thing, because on his fight with Kenobi, that's kind of like how he looks like before he took it off anyway. But overall, this is a pretty solid release. Like, if posed right, which is, I don't think you're gonna have any trouble posing this guy whatsoever, because he does have that imposing effect. Him and Darth Maul, probably, you know, the best two things that happened to that, well, outside of Anakin, obviously. That prequel was hated prior to the sequel, but now looking back at it now, so many good looking characters has, you know, translated to toys have come out of those prequels, and this is one of them. Look at him just standing there looking awesome. Look at this pose right here. That is beautiful. Now, if you could, you know, like, and you could pose him like this and leave it there for a long time if you have the space, obviously, but he's very imposing. He does have this presence, and it could still, look at this pose without a stand, and you can leave him in this pose and just be the center of your you know, especially if you're into this type of character. I most likely would get this. I don't know. We'll see when it comes out here, and if I have the money, and if it stays, I probably would, because it just looks pretty cool. But let me know in the comments, is this something you pre-ordered? Did you have the Sideshow version? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.